Good day everybody, it's Riley the Orange Fox
and Leon the Wolf, ready for more fun.
And welcome to another edition of The Work of the World. First things first, how has Leon been since we last met?
Had my hands full with a few things lately, but I'm doing okay. Though I am happy that the others are finally getting underway. I guess you getting started was the motivation they needed.
Steady on, Leon, you're embarrassing me.
What can I say? I'm happy to see some actual progress. But enough chit-chat on the sidelines. Let's talk about one of the greatest game consoles in history, the Nintendo 64, or N64 for short.
Yes indeed everybody, the Nintendo 64 is not only a fantastic games console, but it also provides us the basis of today's subject.
But first, time for a history lesson for those not quite in the know yet. The Nintendo 64 was Nintendo's third home video game console on the international market. The name actually comes from its 64-bit CPU. Its release dates all around the world varied from June of 1996 all the way to December of 1997. While considered dated compared to modern day, it was still home to some of the best games in history. Pokemon Stadium, F-Zero X, Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64, GoldenEye 007, but one of its best cash-ins was the Mario Party series, which by the way started with the N64.
Leon's not making it up, you know. Since it began, the Mario Party series has become a collector's series among gamers, with some copies of rare titles fetching as much as £200 on eBay, or $300 in American conversion.
With 3 games released on the N64, one in particular became the most memorable, and that was Mario Party 2.
More recently, it also became a virtual console download for Wii owners.
With its release on the VC, Riley and I decided to go into nostalgia mode and take a look at this awesome game. Taking a page from my Critique the Critic series, we will be using the judgment system this time, analyzing and judging 5 aspects, awarding up to 10 points to each.
Leon and I looked over this game together, and we came up with these aspects.
And the results will come towards the end of the video. And with that said, let's get rolling! Let's kick things off with the story.
In the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Wario, and Peach are fighting over what the name of the land should be called.
But then, Bowser began attacking. Again! So Toad came up with an idea, and I quote, "Why don't we name this world after the superstar who defeats Bowser?" And so the game began. Full disclosure, I always chose Yoshi.
I liked playing either as Luigi or Wario. I liked Wario's cry of failure as well.
So I missed!
The story is short and to the point, par through the course with N64 games that actually have storylines. Though I did consider it odd compared to the first game's story. In Mario Party 1, Mario and friends were simply fighting over who was the superstar in the group, and Mario Party served an adventure meant to decide who it was once and for all.
Ironically, I never played the first game enough to know about it, but in Mario Party 3's story, a star born once every 1,000 years falls from the sky and lands in the Mushroom Kingdom. The characters must then decide who is going to keep it, by means of a Mario Party. The star then puts them in a Mario Party world to make the game more fun. So based on these 3 stories, what do you think is the best one? I personally would choose the second story. What about you, Leon?
I prefer MP3 because it's very unique, it mixed things up, and I just adored Tumblr. He was so cute! Keep on being cute, little guy.
Interesting choice. But moving swiftly on to the gameplay. For me, the gameplay of Mario Party makes it an interesting title to pick up if you haven't done so already. I like the fact that the minigames are fast-paced and rhythmic in comparison to other Mario Party titles, like those on the Nintendo GameCube. Some of my favourite minigames included Hexagon Heat, Cake Factory, Looney Lumberjacks, and Dungeon Duos. But some of my demon games had to be Slot Car Derby, Honeycomb Havoc, and Sneak and Snore.
The gameplay is basic game board style. You roll the dice, and the number you roll is the number of spaces you can move forward.
And each space has a different effect. The blue spaces give you coins, while the red spaces cost you coins. Question mark spaces vary effects between boards, and exclamation marks can start a special trade game called Chance Time, but the rule is the same. Reach Toad with 20 coins to get the star, and he moves every time it is claimed. However, Baby Bowser also appears at random on the board, and always moves to the spot where the star last was. If you pass him, you must pay him 5 coins, but sometimes he gives 5 coins by mistake. Be careful though, don't win a Bowser bomb on an item game space if you're not very far ahead, or he could turn into Bowser, who will catch you and bankrupt you.
Too bad my favorite Mario character has to be the bad guy, especially during the final board.
Really? Why do you like Bowser so much?
It's a bit of a long story. You think you and the viewers got the time?
Can you simplify it?
I can try. Back in 2013, I posted a Mario-themed TF story on DeviantArt. I unintentionally had him way out of character. And the big guy not only didn't like it, he wasn't gonna let me live it down either. Because not long after I posted the story, I ran into a bizarre hiccup. Whenever I played Mario Kart Wii and was going after my favorite bike, the Dolphin Dasher, I always came so close. However, Bowser would come and ruin my progress time and time again, and it was always him. For some reason, I felt he was angry about the story. Others call it one big coincidence, but I could not accept that. After Bowser messed up my efforts 15 times in a row, I finally decided to play as him through the circuit. Throughout the races, I found myself thinking out loud about how much I screwed up that story, and about how bad I felt about misportraying Bowser. And the Koopa King must have been listening to me or something, because we took first place without any issues. At that moment, I suddenly felt this newfound respect toward the Koopa King, and I found myself playing as him more often in Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, and other games. And the next thing I knew, Bowser was right up there with the Koopa Troopa and Yoshi as one of my favorite Mario characters of all time.
Don't say you didn't warn me about it being a long story. Well, that's very interesting anyway.
I'm just hoping the big guy is willing to forgive me. I'm forgiven? Thanks, Bowser. Yes, I promise never to betray you poorly again. I'm up for bowling next Saturday, sure. I'm looking forward to it. See you then.
Well, I certainly wasn't expecting to hear that. Looks like you and Bowser have become really good friends. Okay, can we please get back to the subject at hand?
Sure. In fact, let's talk about Bowser's board, Bowserland. Upon completing all 5 of the main boards, when you re-enter the menu world, something new will happen.
That's right. Mini Bowsers come in and kidnap Toad from the lobby. Then one Mini Bowser takes over and says Toad is under the weather. While he is in charge, you can only access the Bowser board, the option menu, or the minigame land.
Which brings us back to a little bit more story, cause you don't just play the boards, oh no. Each board actually has its own unique story. My favorite is Spaceland, where the players don space suits and join the Space Patrol. Their mission is to protect the station from Black Hole Bowser.
In conclusion of the gameplay subject, I love the element of Bowser taking on different identities and the characters you choose. I also love the fact that you have to save up coins to buy the minigames once you've played them on the boards. It makes you much more motivated to play the game over and over again. Speaking of which, that leads us to our next subject, replay value. Leon?
There is a lot of replay value in this game. With 6 boards, over 100 minigames, and a very good luck mechanic, you're never going to have the same experience twice in a row. However, there is one thing that greatly hampers the replay value, for me and for many others.
Oh really? What's that?
Rapid input sequences, otherwise known as button mashing. There are a number of minigames that require rapid mashing of buttons or rapid spinning of control sticks. This can and has led to injury and destruction of controllers.
I think it was more prominent in Mario Parties 1 and 3. That's why those versions have not been released on Virtual Console. But the N64 controller stick wasn't exactly the best quality in comparison to other controllers, like the Wii U gamepad or the Nunchuk. I'd quite like to see Mario Party 1 and 3 on Virtual Console, but I must get back to the subject at hand again. I quite like some of the fast-paced minigames, as it added much more thrill, and I like to play games over from scratch when I complete them. Mario Party 2 is no exception for me.
Visuals next. Each board is unique not just in design. For each of the main 5, The cast actually dons costumes and takes on specific roles.
The costumes are set based on the name of the land. You have pirate captains, maybe a reference to Pirates of the Caribbean. Sheriff deputies, a bit like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Space Patrol astronauts, probably an element of Mission to Mars there. Then there's adventurers, like Indiana Jones maybe. And then you've got witches and wizards, like of course, Harry Potter.
Bowser takes on different personas too. Captain Bowser, Bowser the Brash, Black Hole Bowser, Bowser Sphinx, and Wizard Bowser. But the goal remains the same, collect the most stars and beat Bad Bowser. Bowser's got to have major depression after so many losses.
He never gets a day off, does he? He's always overworked with his ever-failed attempts to get his own back on Mario and Princess Peach. But like they say, no rest for the wicked. And now, let's move on to our final category, Fun Factor. I think that the fun factor is so great that there's no few words to describe it. In layman's terms, the game is just far too difficult for me to put down at the best of times.
I know, right? It's an awesome game. It may be difficult at times, but that just adds to the fun challenge.
I second that.
Though I wish Bowser could be a protagonist.
Doubtful, Leon. Have you ever seen the film Wreck-It Ralph?
It's one of my favorite Disney flicks. Though Bowser has been a playable character or protagonist in previous games.
I always considered him neutral in those cases. Anyway, how about some overall marks for Mario Party 2?
Let's do it!
Well, there are our results. But what do you viewers think of this game? We'd love you to comment on what you think of Mario Party 2. Or if you like, you can suggest other video games that Beast Brothers could maybe review sometime. Would you like that, Leon?
Yep, and you can suggest RPG games for me to review in my series, RPGN. Well, I'm Leon the Wolf.
And I've been Riley the Fox.
And we'll see you next time. See ya!